guidelines prohibiting public gatherings of more than 100 people, and the 2-meter social distancing will be put to the test today, with many funerals being held this weekend. Among the many families laying their loved ones to rest is the Goodall family in Johannesburg. 3 siblings were among the 12 people killed in a head-on collision between a minibus taxi and a car earlier this month. They are being laid to rest today. Let's cross now to our reporter Hasina Gori for an update from the Eldorado Park Catholic Church, where the funeral service is being held for these siblings. Hasina, no doubt a sense of melancholy, people in mourning, and added to their concern is this gathering restrictions with regards to not having more than 100 people. How are they coping?
Yes, certainly, Blaine, a somber mood here in Eldorado Park this morning. Many mourners here came out, in their hundreds actually, and lined the streets from Extension 3 to Extension 4 this morning. As you know, the restrictions that put in place last week said, gatherings of not more than 100 were prohibited. And these 3 siblings were much loved by this community. And in a bid to allow everyone a kind of chance to say their farewells and to be part of the funeral in some form, the family allowed and asked for them to line up the streets, to come out with banners, with their scarves or flags, and be part of it in some way. This helped in ensuring that the church that we're standing outside right now was not completely filled to capacity and kept within the under 100 numbers in a way to mitigate the overcrowding and ensure there was some kind of order. The family also had a private ceremony in their home this morning at about 7:30. They also handed out little tags, little badges, which showed who was allowed into church. This way it kept order in. We also saw police officers as well as JMPD police, as well as the community police forum members, all here trying to marshal and bring crowd control. So far we've seen no hassles or no one trying to force their way in. People have been abiding by these rules and accepting it. The numbers outside also have kind of trickled down at the moment, with many gone home now after they saw the caskets being brought in, and there was also a marching band and a motorcycle convoy that led the 3 mourners, 3 burials into the church this morning. What we're seeing right now is people waiting now to go to the graveside later in the day.
Look, we are in uncharted territory here, Hasina. It's unprecedented times that South Africans are going through with regards to these restrictions. We're talking about the Bill of Rights, human rights, the freedom of movement, the freedom of association, but these rights have to be now limited a bit in order to, curb or put paid to the spread of COVID-19. You saying that the general sense that you're getting, and people are accepting this, especially in this difficult time for them?
I think people are trying to understand it. As you said, it's unprecedented, uncharted. They're trying to understand. And while people understand the under 100 numbers, I think people are still trying to understand what social distancing actually means. You still see groups of people standing quite close to each other, kind of forgetting that 1 meter or 2 meter rule even needs to be put into place, even in your homes, even with family members, because the spread of coronavirus in some areas were found to be among family members as well. So we're still seeing groups of people still sitting or standing close to each other or sitting next to each other. And you're going to see people changing and shifting as time goes by, as they understand the spread a bit better. What exactly is social distancing? How important is sanitizing? Whether or not masks need to be worn, and where and in what circumstances should they be worn in, as well as the gloves as well. And I think it's going to take time for South Africans to understand and to implement and really change the way we behave, both in our social ways, in religious circumstances. We've seen that in various different religious ceremonies that's taken place over the last few days, where people are now trying to understand how to put into place these measures that were brought in by the president just last week.
All right, Hasina Gori, live for us from Eldorado Park. Thank you very much indeed for your reporting.